What is up, guys? Welcome to State of the Game for October 25th, 2012. I'm JP McDaniel. Today on the show, we've got Apollo, the best StarCraft 2 rapper. Apollo, how are you doing, man?
Yo, what's up?
Let's take a listen.
Yo.
Ready for
Take a listen to the rap here.
Slowly getting more and more energy, and seven more on the way.
Oh
my god, started. Oh my god, headsets on.
You gotta also explain where, like, what is this music?
The world has just exploded.
Oh my god.
Hold me tightly.
It was like Romania's #1 gangster rap guy. It was live, 5 meters away, performing next to us, and I couldn't hear anything. So I kind of went a little bit crazy.
It's really bad. It's really bad. You're also the newest member to the Dignitas Hall of Fame, which I don't quite... How many people are in the Hall of Fame? Are you the first?
No, there's like maybe a couple of other people behind me.
Do you have anything to say about that? Are you excited?
No, I'm just kind of happy about it. I've been in Dignitas since like 2007, so it's been like 5 years or something, or more. It's coming up more years, I guess, when we go to 2013.
Gotcha.
I've done a lot for them. They've done a lot for me, I guess.
And of course, the biggest news coming out of Camp Apollo is that you lost to Similar.
Yeah, you can call that my biggest news out of my side. Yeah.
Did you guys set that rematch? Was that actually a thing on the Good Show?
The thing is, Semler flew away to France as soon as he heard about the rematch, man.
Ah.
So he's gone. He's out of here. He's not going to interrupt and be drunk tonight.
So it's not happening?
Well, eventually, I suppose it will, because he's in freaking Diamond League, man. How the hell? What? All right, so if somebody, QXC, if somebody comes up to you in Diamond League and says, hey, buddy, want to play a best of 7 for €500, what would you say?
Yes, now.
Let's go.
The sooner the better. Oh, no, sorry. No, it'd be like, well, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Diamond's pretty high, but yeah, we can play.
See.
Ask for 1,000.
Ask for 1,000.
Thing is that what the rules were that he would only have to win 1 map of 7. Like, of 7, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I'd have to win 4, he'd have to win 1. That's what the rules were last time.
All right. Well, we'll wait to see if that actually goes down. Wolf, it's 5 a.m. in Korea right now. Thank you for coming on, man. But I gotta. Why did you dye your hair, man? What's going on with the hair? When did this happen?
It was an experiment. I was actually terrified. I went to the hair shop, and I thought I was gonna dye my hair maybe 1 shade slightly different just to do it. Then when I looked at the palette, I picked one on the far end, and the Korean guy there, he just gave me this look like, are you sure? And I just said, yeah, of course. I said, yeah, I basically said, fuck it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And I just did it. And no regrets. But I'm probably going to dye it again soon.
Okay. You also joined EMG. I think that was announced 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Congrats to you too.
Well, thank you. Have you, I mean, what does that mean for you? Are you going to get some personal sponsorships or?
Yeah. Looking for a lot of personal sponsorships. I've been talking to a lot of companies already, and I'm really excited looking forward. I have a lot of plans and ideas, and I think EMG can help me put them into action. Awesome.
Well, we will be seeing what's going on with that. And last but not least, obviously you're not Tasteless, but Tasteless was casting League of Legends. Are we going to see you casting League anytime soon?
Yeah, you will see me in the future cast League of Legends. I don't know exactly how soon. I was actually supposed to be casting the tournament he's casting, but it didn't work out, so it's him instead of me. So it could have been me, I guess, on the front page of Reddit, being as Wolf switching to League of Legends. But I've been playing quite a bit, learning a lot, but I'm still mostly focused on StarCraft. I would say like at least 85% focused.
Okay, all right. I want to spend a little bit more time on that. Apollo and QXC. Is that even a thing? Should people even be, like, upset about this? Does it even matter that he's casting League of Legends?
I don't know if it's really worth being upset over. This is kind of an inevitability in a lot of ways. When you look at the viewership that League of Legends has, and then you look at, like, Korea has League of Legends, and are there League of Legends casters living in Korea already, like the way you guys are for StarCraft?
Right now, there's Dilla, who just announced that he was going to be casting League of Legends for OGN.
Yeah.
And there's someone else coming out, Montecristo.
Yeah, that was just announced like an hour ago, I think.
Yeah, so Doa, Montecristo, and Tasteless, I guess, are the only League of Legends casters, quote unquote, that are officially living in Korea, as far as I know.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me that like League of Legends and StarCraft 2 obviously aren't that similar, but they're still kind of RTS, and a lot of people who play StarCraft now used to play Dota, or one of those games. So, and then with the lack of English, like League of Legends casters who that's all they do, it makes a lot of sense to me for some of the StarCraft casters like Wolf and Tasteless to be doing some of that.
Apollo, are you going to be casting League anytime soon?
No, man. I'm actually sticking with StarCraft. For me, it's more of the I don't want to cast any other games. I'm just too into StarCraft, and I don't want to leave it. But Tasteless, Wolf, and others are talented people who can do multiple games. For me, my style of casting, I could never want to cast another game until I know it inside out. That's just not me. So I wouldn't even try to play a different game, to learn a different game. I'm just with StarCraft through and through, man.
There you go. There you go. And QXC, you guys are basically in the Complexity House right now, just prepping for MLG, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. This week and next, I mean, that's really all we're focusing on. Obviously, we've been focusing on it for a while, but this is going to be like the final touches, making sure all the builds that we're going to use are ready and trying to grind out any last little holes and stuff. I mean, MLG is always a big event, and it's really important to do well there, so that's the focus.
I know a couple of your teammates are over at the Firefall Fest. Is that who flew out there? Were there any StarCraft guys?
Trimaster went.
Okay.
Other than that, though, it was a manager and 2 of the Han players.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the show here since we've introduced everyone else. We're going to go ahead and start with the Blizzard stuff that was announced a little bit earlier today. Some of the stuff that I was talking with the community manager with last night was the XP system. We'll spend some time on that. And then I'll kind of talk about a little bit of the other stuff and some of the stuff he wouldn't tell me, which I don't really know what that is. But XP was announced earlier today. What do you guys think? Apollo, we'll start with you.
All right, so I think it's kind of cool that they're taking an initiative to do things like this. I think it's kind of nice that they're trying anything or this direction. The thing is, though, I like it, but I don't like it, if that makes sense, because I like it that they're trying to do it, but I don't like it because of what they're actually doing. It's more portraits, man. I don't really care about in-game portraits. I think a lot of people don't care about it either. To be honest, I didn't even, because I play random, and there was someone that messaged me one time saying, hey, man, why don't you use the 1,000 win random portrait? I'm like, what? What's that? It's like, no, you have to use it. It's like some girl on a plane. And I'm like, all right, well, thanks for the heads up. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know portraits. But I think the initiative is good, but the end product is not quite there.
In terms of the end product being, like, you want something else other than portraits? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, I don't know. They can think of other things to do. Maybe like I don't know, like a flagging game that is on your tanks or something. I don't know. That's a little bit more interesting than portraits. I don't know.
They already did like you know the like crazy looking Thors with the wings. The collector's edition Thors.
That was
like,
for
you barely see anymore because all the people who bought collector's edition like don't play or they switch teams, so they're not using that account.
That's true, actually.
That's a good point.
Or they're like me and they bought a new account for smurfing purposes.
Yeah. But like Blizzard clearly has the technology to just like change a skin on a whim.
Right, yeah, I mean
we already have like how many portraits are in the game right now? Like
that's a good question, man.
70? Like I can only use one portrait. I don't need like 25 more.
Yeah.
But if I can make my Marines look like Rambo, like I'd probably do that.
There's also decals. I think the biggest thing, and this is also something that's kind of weird to me in League of Legends, is that they do have like different skins for the characters, and they're used in tournament play. I would figure that you would want everything to look default, right? Just because it's easier to, from like tournament to tournament, you know what a Marine is going to look like for a player that doesn't play that much. So I think that's kind of a bad route to go for maybe competitive, but for the casuals, I mean, why not, right?
I think that they could do something really interesting where right now you have decals, so you have your Rainers Raiders, or you have like the Dominic, troops, or your like UED or something. They could create a different marine outfit for each one of these. And for actual ladder only, I think that would be fine. Then when you have a tournament like the GSL or IPL or IEM or MLG, then they just force everyone to use the standard skin. As if the skin is distracting. I think that it could even be used in tournament play as well. But as long as it's very subtle, but it's interesting, I think that that could be cool. The decal alone is something they introduced forever, but I hardly ever see decal. Sometimes I'm like, well, that guy has a paw print on his marine. What does that mean? Does that mean he played a ton of games? I don't really know, but
yeah,
I think it's like the decal is almost too subtle, but maybe it's just a slight variation of the skin could be really interesting. I think the direction of Blizzard going to try to put people to play the game more shows that they're really interested in that, and I like that, and it's exciting. But like Apollo said, I'm not sure if portraits are good enough. They might have to introduce something else. Maybe they have that plan. They haven't announced it yet. I'd like to see skins.
Yeah, I don't. Skins are kind of weird. I guess we'll have to see if that's tested. Other than kind of the skins and the portraits, I don't really know what else they can add in here. You know, because with League you have these entire kind of fake money systems already implemented in the game, and I don't think Blizzard's going to go that way. And if they win, I don't know what you could buy with the fake money. I guess maybe you buy more portraits and skins, but
StarCraft, it's just not a game that's built around the idea of like runes and like leveling up a tree and things. Like StarCraft could be a game like that. There are games like that. Supreme Commander 2 has a tree kind of like that. It's in game, but it's still like a similar idea. But I don't think Blizzard would have any success now trying to implement that as a feature. It'd be too big and people would resist it too much. And so it's like skins are cool. I almost feel like they should make it so you level up by playing customs, like
no,
UMS.
That's in there. Oh, you mean custom maps?
Yeah, I mean like I should be able to level up by playing Nexus Wars. Because at the end of the day, like, does Blizzard really care if people are laddering or if they're playing like Nexus Wars and Hero Arena? Like,
yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree. I think that encouraging people to play custom games in that way is really cool. Because then you could also do the same thing for when you want to play on a map that's in the GSL pool that's not in the ladder. You want to practice with your friends, and you still get points for that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
My only worry... Well, go ahead, and then I'll talk.
Just one last thing about the skins is, let's say they did do skins, then potentially there could be a check mark on a custom map that says force default skins or allow custom skins.
That's true.
And then just MLG uses MLG maps and they all force default skins, and that would be a way to fix the tournament thing.
That's a good point. When I started out reading the article, right under the first thing, the basics, I was all for it, and then it goes into custom games. How are they going to regulate that people don't just make a custom game, get up to like 200 army, fight each other? Because they say it's based off how many units you kill. So, like, how do you regulate people not cheating the system?
Well, I guess you could make certain triggers in the map then where, I don't know. That's a really complicated problem, but does every map that gets uploaded to the pool, I actually don't know the answer to this, every map that gets uploaded to the custom map system, does that actually have to be approved by Blizzard in some way? Or is there a reporting system that's like easily used? Because I'm sure if someone uploads a map where like there's just the mini map looks like a penis and there's like nothing there, it's going to get reported. And I guess something like this could exist in this case too, where people report maps that are just like for farming. I don't know.
Yeah. And maybe it doesn't matter if people cheat. Like, fuck it. Who cares if someone's level 20? I mean, I guess that's going to matter when you're like queuing up against them and you see they have like the best portrait, maybe. So you're like, well, shit, this guy must be really good if you don't know the name, but I don't know. Apollo, you're shaking your head. You look like you have something to say.
How many people actually know what the portraits mean? You know? Are people out there that load into a game like, oh shit, he's got a marauder. Oh,
I remember back in the
like that?
I remember back in the very beginning of the game that when you beat the game on the hardest setting, you got like the Kerrigan portrait.
Oh yeah, that was like.
And I remember seeing that. I was like, oh, they beat the game on insane or whatever. But that's the only one I remember.
Maybe because I don't really focus on these kind of things. Like I load in and someone's got a portrait. I'm like, well, you know, nice personal preference there. I don't really know what he's done to get it, so I don't know. Maybe that's just because I don't kind of look at the game like that.
That's because when you look at the game, some people they look at portraits and they just see it as just a picture and they're not thinking about it. Some people really like to earn achievements like that. You know, there's a different type of gamer that wants to have a picture next to their face. That's why you had people purposely get into Bronze League and then try to get that, like,
Yeah.
you know, that random 1,000 wins with each race and random portrait first before anyone else because they want that. But that's not a competitive gamer. That's just a guy who wants to have a picture next to his name. I think there's two different types of gamers, but this one caters to one, but not really the hardcore gamers. But I don't think it has to. So
yeah, I agree with that. The competitive gamers don't need further incentive to play the game more. Like, that's what we do. We play it all the time because we want to win. We don't need like XP and portraits and things. So things like this should definitely be targeted more at casual gamers.
Right, and I don't think they're targeting it at competitive gamers by any. If Nesty is like excited, like, guys, I can get a portrait this week. Fucking stoked. Now, what if they put a portrait of Nesty in there? That'd be fucking sick, right? Of course he'd want that. So we'll see. It's a good first step. I know that a lot of other stuff, when I was talking with Kevin last night, not QXC, Kevin being the StarCraft 2 community manager, a lot more stuff is coming next week. One of them is going to be clan support, apparently.
oh, that's awesome.
So I don't know what that means, and in fact, I'll probably get in trouble for leaking that, but I just know that something around clans is coming next week, or a blog post kind of saying what it's about. So we'll see. A lot of the stuff I was told was supposed to be implemented pretty quickly into the beta. They were saying, actually in this post, that after the next major beta patch. So who knows?
Do you guys think?
That'll be soon when all this stuff starts coming in. But we'll see.
Did you guys
Go ahead.
do you
Go ahead.
think the new UI is interesting? Have you guys seen that as well? It looks a lot simpler and a lot cleaner than the old one. There's no longer like the button at the top left that's like basically it used to be single player and multiplayer, and now it's StarCraft and arcade, which seemed better, but it also didn't really seem quite clear. But now it looks like a little bit better. It's campaign, matchmaking, custom games, arcade, and then replays. Seems a lot better organized. What do you guys think about that? I'm kind of curious.
Can you send me the picture? Because I saw it before, but I can't find it again.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the stream here in a second. Let me find it. But I think it looks awesome. It's a refreshing look. It's not the same stuff that we've seen for 2 years. I think that might be why it looks so awesome to you, Wolf. But because it's pretty and new.
It's definitely nice to see them like caring about the UI and trying to improve it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's really the fundamental problem or thing that they should be addressing, but yeah, it does look nicer for sure.
It honestly looks like you're in Windows still to me. I mean, the taskbar and everything there.
Yeah.
maybe
like
they're
the
trying to hit on that.
I like the 1v1 stat sheet of the games played, wins and losses and stuff. I think that stuff like that's cool. I like that a lot, actually.
They've also if you scroll down, man, they have them broken out by map. Your games played, win losses, and win percentage by map.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's cool. I like that a lot, actually. And because it's not just for my personal preference. I mean, I'd love to look at my own, but I'd also love to look at my opponents all the time, too. That would be something I'd do after the replay. So not only if I played versus somebody, I'd go ahead and, you know, look at where they are in the league or whatever and their points, but I'd also go and look at the stats, you know, like this kind of stuff. I think that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. What the last screenshot? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is just basically a taskbar down at the bottom.
Yeah, and a better party system.
What are the portraits down there? I guess it does have kind of the levels built into that. You can see them.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting, I guess, to say the least. But we'll see when that comes out. I'm definitely interested to mess around with that. The other thing I wanted to touch on is that I saw a lot of people like high-fiving in the Reddit threads. This wasn't because you guys tweeted "Save Heart of the Swarm." Like, this stuff didn't happen in a week, guys. This is because Blizzard has been planning it out for a while, and like shit went crazy last week with all the Heart of the Swarm save hots and all that shit. They weren't just like, guys, we need to rush this out immediately. This has to go out next week. The community's going crazy. No, it was probably scheduled all along.
Imagine all the Blizzard guys last week. They were like, God damn it, guys, you just wait one more week? Could you just chill out?
Yeah, yeah. That's probably what they were saying. I'm sure they were just pulling their hair out. But it's cool. I think we'll finally start to see, obviously, as Heart of the Swarm gets closer and closer to coming out, whenever that actually is, that they are adding in a lot of stuff that people are complaining and bitching about. That is more casual focused as well as some other stuff. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that Kevin mentioned that would be interesting to you guys, but I don't think there was. So just look for more information, I guess, through these blogs. I guess is where it'll all be coming out, and we'll see. Hopefully that the drama can kind of die down, at least on that side of things. So let's talk about some more drama. Or
I got one more thing to say on this. I almost feel like if they had called what is now like Heart of the Swarm Beta, if they had called that Heart of the Swarm Alpha, I think a lot of these problems and a lot of the complaining would have gone away. Because just with like the recent stuff they've released, it sounds like Heart of the Swarm is really going to be a big step in the right direction. But because it was like closed beta, and like we were in StarCraft 2 closed beta, we know what closed beta was like, and we were like, well, the UI didn't really change that much. Like, the game didn't really change that much. So a lot of people were, myself included, were expecting like what we've been playing as Heart of the Swarm beta, like maybe 1 or 2 patches and like a little bit of unit tweaks, and like that would be Heart of the Swarm. But that's not really the case, and so it's really cool to see that they're making some big strides here. I'd be interested to see what else they're planning.
Right.
It's refreshing to see that they have big plans in mind for even changing things like leveling. That when I heard about that tonight, I just saw it. Someone tweeted at me, and I was so surprised that they were actually so quickly able to put that in there, and they've been thinking about that for a while. It shows that they've been thinking about this for quite some time. Like you said earlier, JP, it's not that the drama and everything on Reddit is why they added this in. They've been thinking about this for a while, and it shows that they have shared a lot of the similar sentiments that a lot of people in the community do, and they're thinking not necessarily in the exact same direction, but at least towards coming together somewhere.
Right. And I don't think anyone's maybe mentioned this, or at least not on State of the Game, but I totally forgot about the new Oracle changes. I'll get to that one second. But real quick, if you take a look at the UI, they have stuff like this, where it has a picture of a mouse and the right button is to move. That is like so casual focused, but it's actually really important to have stuff like that. Because I know a lot of people, when they first boot up the game and they don't have someone around to tell them what's going on, that this shit is actually like super helpful. So you can see that they're definitely like putting in small little things for the casual user base. But talking about the oracles for a second, they have changed the unit quite a lot here. Revelation is still the same as before. Pulsar Beam is a new ability. It's a passive anti-structure ability. Deals 20 damage per second. Drains 2 energy per second while channeling its autocast on. I want to know what you guys think about this ability. We'll start with Apollo.
God, don't even ask me, man. I haven't even played enough Heart of the Swarm to even know what anything's going on.
Well, this isn't even out in the game yet, man.
It's an announced, like, planning to change the Oracle.
I still don't think I can comment because didn't even use it before, but it sounds cool. Like,
totally
PC. I think they should make it target anything. Like, because when I hear it targets structures and it drains energy, what I'm thinking is it's draining Chrono Boost and it's draining mules, but you're not able to affect Zerg inject timings? Like, that doesn't really make sense to me.
Wait, doesn't it target actual hit points and not energy of the structure you're targeting?
No, it does damage and it drains energy, right?
Oh, okay.
Can we get a link to the actual description?
Yeah, let me read it.
I'll link it one sec. I'll put it in the chat. It's actually in the document.
Yeah, it says. I mean, it says drains 2 energy, so you must be right. I mean,
you sure that's not from the unit though? Are you guys saying it's draining it from?
No, I think it.
Yeah, no, sorry, I totally misread it. You're right, Wolf. It costs 2 energy per second.
Yeah.
I was reading it as it gains 2 energy per second from the thing.
So you can just do it for infinity?
I thought it would do damage and give the unit energy. I thought that was the idea. So I thought that you could attack your own pylons, for example, to get energy. So I thought it might be like really strong, but you'd have to be careful with it. Like it was similar to the Corruptor ability Siphon, or I don't remember what the name of the ability for Corruptors was, but similar to Siphon.
I don't think we actually know what this ability does then.
Yeah, it's kind of vague.
It's not clear whether the Oracle is draining energy from the structure or if it's actually costing 2 energy to use it. I think it costs.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. It costs 2 energy to drain while channeling.
I think it'd be cooler if it drained energy from whatever it targeted.
Yeah, I thought that was the idea.
If that's 2 energy per second, that's like fucking slow, man. A ghost has like 200 energy.
You wouldn't use it against a ghost. It's anti-structure. It's like an anti-macro mechanic. It'd be like during Chrono Boost or Injects or Mules.
I guess, but like same argument. Like Command Center has 200. Is it 200? And then Nexus has 100. And Zerg
doesn't have any energy.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's like from the unit. I think.
Yeah. You're definitely right. Well, this ability is way less cool than I thought it was. Now that I've learned how to read.
Oh god. The other one, that one I'm placed in Tomb, I believe, and the other ability is Time Warp. Creates a warp field at the target location that reduces enemy ground units movement speed by 50%. I think that's pretty fucking cool. Like, I think that adds a lot to Protoss. Yeah. What do you guys think?
That's awesome. I think that this can be used in so many different ways. You can use it in a battle. You can use it when you're trying to do an attack at someone's base and try to slow their. You use it on the ramp, their units that try to reinforce or slow down. You can use it on the mineral line and slow down mining. I don't know how long it lasts. These are things we don't know because they haven't given specific stats for how long it lasts. It could last for a whole minute. It could last for 5 seconds. It's not clear.
I'm reading through the description here.
Yeah,
does it give a time? Cool. I don't.
No, it doesn't give a time. Say it. I mean, I'm sure it's like. If it's any more than 10 seconds, that would probably be incredibly broken, wouldn't it? Because, and the other thing I want to ask is, with this coupled with force fields, the Protoss is like never going to start a fight unless it wants to fight the opponent exactly where it wants to fight the opponent, you know? Like, they can dictate where they want to fucking, with force fields, and with this, you can cover an entire screen very quickly. And you can totally fuck their army from coming in if they like try to bull rush you. So that might be too much power, man.
It may be. That's why I really wish I could see the radius and stuff. I'm waiting for this patch to come out. I thought it was going to come out yesterday. It didn't, and it's kind of like it could be really strong. It could be really weak. The cost of the Stargate plus the Oracle itself and the energy it's going to cost to cast this, which we don't even know how much that is either, is all things that we don't know about yet. So it's hard to comment on how strong it really will be until we have those values, I feel.
Yeah, we'll see.
It definitely seems like it'd be good, and I don't know. I'm not actually sure how cool this ability is because it feels like it overlaps with force fields in a lot of ways. Like, you want to keep units from getting away. Although I guess okay, the cool thing about this ability is the Oracle is really fast and it's flying. Yeah. So you can like force field in ways that sentries would never be able to.
Right.
And so that could be really interesting. But if it's like you keep oracles and sentries with your army, it seems like they kind of do the very similar things.
Well, they actually are incredibly fast. 3.75 movement speed. So you could definitely get around with that thing.
Yeah, you could have a battle and like time warp behind their army or something like that, or time warp. You could like time warp wherever you want with the Oracle being as fast as it is.
Yeah. So
imagine guys trying to run away and you just like slow them and then force them behind it.
Right? No, that's a good point, man. Like that, I think it seems a little bit too crazy. Like
it seems like
with force field, you can actually just fuck your opponent.
The thing is, like, imagine Terran versus Protoss right now when you see so many games where in Wings of Liberty, and I guess still in Heart of the Swarm too, is where they dance on the force field line, and you know, like, they're baiting it out, but they're still in and out, and then all of a sudden the freaking thing comes sliding in, the Oracle, whatever it's called, comes sliding in.
This is the same as the concussive shell, you know? It's actually the exact same value, 50%. So, I mean, if you wondered, like, how much it would actually slow, I mean, that's exactly how much it does. It's like, it feels a little bit, to me, overlapping with what another race does. That's something I feel a little bit weird about. Watching, you know, Marauders run away as they're slowed from this, as they try to, like, slow the units that are chasing them could be a little bit weird.
That's a good. Someone in the chat brought up. It'd be awesome if this was maybe buffed a tad bit and then replaced force field. Could that actually work? Could you do that? The sentry would be worthless then.
I don't think so. Yeah, the sentry would become worthless, and then you have to have a Stargate. And the sentry is so useful. I mean, you're not going to be able to use this to stop a ton of speedlings getting into your base. They're still going to get in. I feel. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that there is still. We definitely have to see that in play because like we don't even know how big it's going to be. They haven't said like. If it's going to be the size of a force field or if it's going to be larger than that, cover a screen, etc.
My hunch is it's going to be a little larger than a force field, just because it's a little weaker in what it actually does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously it's just guessing, but that seems reasonable to me.
Definitely. Well, we'll have to see when that gets implemented. I would assume that's going to come with the next major patch here pretty soon from Blizzard. So let's go ahead and move on. I do want to touch on the Slayers drama, typically because Wolf is here. So what is everything? What is it like in Korea right now, Wolf? Is shit crazy?
It kind of is. On the Korean netizens are saying a lot of bad things about a lot of players. Crank has gotten a lot of flack in Korea, which is funny to foreign fans, I feel, because it's kind of the opposite. It seems like foreign fans really like to defend Crank and take his side, but in Korea, because of the things that players like Sella have come out and say about Crank, people are taking the side against him. A lot of people aren't really criticizing Jessica in Korea so much as they are in the US, for example, or in Europe, just in the foreign scene. It's kind of like when MMA came to play his matches for Up-and-Downs, he came into the studio, he didn't talk to anybody. He sat on the bench alone during the time between his matches. He didn't talk to anybody. He didn't talk to casters, players. Nobody talked to him either. When his matches were over, he lost the group. Spoiler alert. He got up and left. That's kind of like...
You're supposed to say spoiler alert before the spoiler, but continue on.
No, but he lost, he left, nobody talked to him, he didn't talk to anyone, and I felt like it wasn't necessarily because people were angry at him. It's just he didn't know how to interact with the people around him because he didn't know how they felt about him, and the same thing as people didn't know how to approach him, so he kind of was alone in that sense, and it was kind of weird to see that because he's such a face, not only in the foreign scene, but in the Korean community as well, as, or at least he once was, someone who like looked up to Boxer and trained with him and trained under him and became kind of like, people call him the son of Boxer for a reason because he trained under him and he had a lot of similar attributes. And now it's kind of sad to see how he's not quite looked at the same way. And nobody really knows the truth in Korea 100% either. It's just as uncertain as it is when you guys read on Reddit. Jessica talks a lot. I'm sure you guys have read a lot of that.
God, man, she talks a lot as a understatement. Like, there's times on Twitter where it'll just be like 10 posts from Jessica. And the Korean character limit is crazy, or it seems like so much more text than everyone else.
When you look at what Jessica does and says, a lot of people really criticize her, but she comes from a completely different background than esports. She's on television. She's like an actress and model. So she comes from a scene, I feel, where in Korea, when you're in that group, you act really harshly to other people, and it's more cutthroat there. And when you act a certain way to them, it shows power maybe. But in the esports scene, when you act harshly to others around you, people are like, why is she like that? I don't know why she's being so strict about how she treats her players and just interacting with the fans around her and interacting with other people. Why is she so outspoken? Some things should be kept secret. Some people feel that way in Korea in esports. But where she comes from is a completely different background. So for her, I think it feels more normal.
Yeah. Apollo, we'll get off this in just 1 second. It's the first time anyone from Korea that we know has kind of come out and said about this that lives there. So you look so upset, Apollo.
No, man, I like it. It's okay.
I guess the last thing, since Apollo wants to move on so quickly, are people are people over there kind of like, is it okay to like leak a phone call like Jessica did? Like, is that seen as common practice over there?
That was something I thought was a little bit weird. I haven't even read that transcript yet. I've been really busy, but when I heard that happened, that is pretty much not okay, especially considering that Jessica has, chased down people for talking about Eve badly in a chat channel. To actually leak a phone call like that seems a little bit odd. It may have been on. I don't know what happened in that phone call. I don't know anything about it, but I just heard that happen. So it may have been something that was more public, anyways. Like it was a Skype call that a lot of people were in, or I don't know what type of phone call it was, so I can't really comment on that. But that's not something that's common in Korea. To answer your question, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. That was like the most interesting part of it to me, but I'm sure more drama will become. I think they still have to choose a team. I think maybe that's the resolution for all this shit to be finally over with. It was announced, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, that Razer offered MMA a personal sponsorship, and Jessica gave that to Boxer or something like that.
That's actually the biggest point of talking right now, is because a lot of people in Korea are saying that is the reason that everything fell apart and that all the players got frustrated and started wanting to join foreign teams. And this is a long time ago. I know that mysterious manager Jay. I actually spent a lot of time with him. He was a nice guy, you know, on the surface. I talked to him quite a bit. He was at the studio all the time. I hung out with him once actually outside of StarCraft, and he seemed nice, he seemed cool, but I think he promised a lot of people things that caused some strife in the team, and that's what everyone kind of in Korea is talking about right now is, did MMA turn his back on Boxer because this guy lied to him about personal sponsorships and excluding him? That's kind of the topic of debate right now.
Yeah, so I don't know. Slayer's drama has been around for quite a long time. I know people are tired of hearing it, so let's go ahead and move on.
I've got one thing on it. I mean,
okay, Paul, what do you think, Paul?
Because no, shut up, JP. With the recent development of that post about being denied sponsorship, I just wanted to say that is just straight out wrong. Okay, that's just not right. But at the same time, I don't know the true story. You guys don't know the true story. If that was the true story, that's how it happened and it was denied. I mean, the Razer guy said it was, so I guess it's pretty much as good as you can get. But that's not right. That's something I don't think is right.
There was a weird tweet that was made about that, and then ended up being deleted. And I don't remember the exact contents of the tweet, but something basically like, Jessica rejected it. Posting something like that actually feels like it's just so unprofessional to actually post that on Twitter.
And what she tweeted what?
Someone from Razer actually tweeted, yeah, we were gonna give potentially MMA a sponsorship, but Jessica rejected it or something like that. Okay. And it's like actually a Razer employee tweeted that.
Yeah. Right. No, I do remember seeing that. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Kind of crazy. We'll see what happens with this whole drama. There is some more, I guess, current news. The Apex players that were not sent over to Dreamhack Bucharest, of course, that broke last week during State of the Game. Earlier today, it was announced that Inca, Vines, and Top have left Apex. No surprise there, of course. And Moro and Juke2 are still on the team. There's also a comment that Moro made in his stream chat that was, of course, then screenshotted and then, of course, posted to Reddit. And it says the following. So this is what's up. All my teammates left Apex, plus the SC2 manager. Still hoping for my salary to come in at the end of the month. This is why you don't join teams that don't have a reputation, guys, because shit like this happens. Like,
yeah, this is actually, I want to tell everyone out there, if there's someone who's like top Grandmaster NA or something, and someone is trying to offer you a salary and trying to get you into a team, don't ever join a team that doesn't have a reputation in the game that you're playing without talking to a lot of people about it. Because, I mean, we've seen what happened with Blight recently, and now this has happened. And in Apex, is, as far as I know, done a lot of things outside of StarCraft, but when you try to suddenly bring so many good players into a team and offer them so much and promise them so much, obviously things are going to just not quite work out how they're planned to be.
Yeah. So, I guess there's that. Not really drama, just kind of sad news of players getting potentially fucked over. We've also got, this is kind of the down, this is the middle part of the Empire Strikes Back, where it's really dark and eerie because we have so much to talk about. But at the end of the cast, I promise it's going to be great. 2 more players have quit the game. We had SC, of course, leave. He's going to be going and playing League of Legends. Wasn't sure, I guess, when he made that announcement of who that's actually going to be. Want to get your thoughts. Wolf, you're probably, I guess, most closely related to this, being that you've casted a lot of his games and seen a lot of his games in Korea. How big of a blow is this to kind of the GSL?
I don't feel like it's too big of a blow. Because of his medical problems, he was always kind of inconsistent in the GSL, and I feel like he looks at this as an approach for, I like this game better. If I'm if I'm, kind of in the hospital, if I'm not able to practice a lot, then StarCraft may be like a game that's too difficult to actually keep up with because it changes so much. But League of Legends, for example, doesn't change all too often.
You're saying that League of Legends is easier than StarCraft?
I don't want to get into that right now, but
Wolf, I fully support you. if that's what
you really have like become in control, Apollo. This is crazy.
What's funny about him leaving though is if you guys have watched him play, his style is basically to get a bunch of barracks and just rally Marines across the map until his opponent dies, kind of like a MOBA game. Like his Marines are his minions going across the map and trying to end on it.
Yeah, I saw a post
that's
like
basically
that.
how he plays. So it's kind of funny that that's the case, but no one in Korea is looking at this and, you know, for example, Puzzle and the other Slayers players leaving as like something that's bad. Actually, the Korean community doesn't look at it as an apocalyptic thing that's happening. They're just like, oh, well, that's good for them. They found something they like. Whereas in, you know, on Reddit, StarCraft Reddit, it's like, oh, they're leaving, then I guess everybody's going to quit and the game's going to die. That's not it at all. Nobody really cares. Like, oh, good for him that he's doing that. That's basically everyone's attitude.
Yeah, as it should be, right? It's like,
yeah.
over here in America, man, people need to fucking go watch anger management and shit. Calm the fuck. It's crazy. Like, every day I wake up and it's fucking eat my eggs and get my drama in by just going over to Reddit and see what's going on. It's absolutely insane. The other player, of course, says in the overlay he went to play League. It's wrong. Select said he's going to go play Dota. Paulo was very upset about that, as he should be, being a former teammate of Select. Sad stuff. I can't say I'm not too surprised. I mean, Select, I guess he's only been playing in NASL. That's all, right?
Yeah.
He played in the MVP stuff, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
But he comes from a Dota background, right? So, I mean, if that's actually true, I mean, if he loves the game more, then more power to him to do that.
Well, what he told me on Skype and stuff, I mean, we're pretty close. I mean, that's why I was really... I'm wearing his goddamn T-shirt, all right, you know? So we're good friends, and he messaged me before the announcement came out and was like, hey, man, I really have to speak to you. And I'm like, whoa, what's up? And he's already had motivation struggles in StarCraft 2, just because he doesn't feel that there's a goal to hit. There's no motivation to hit for him.
Yeah.
And without being in Korea, he feels that there's no point to play the game. You know, that's his stance. And he can't go to Korea because of, you know, stuff to do with military and stuff on, so on, so on. So he can't go to Korea for a long time. So he messaged me and was like, you know, I just don't have motivation to play this game. I'm like 24 years old. It's so stressful. It's taken a toll on my health. I can't do it anymore. I've been playing StarCraft and Warcraft 3 and other games for a long, long time, and he just wants to, you know, slow down a little bit, and that's why he took the turn this way. But like you said, he was like a player in Dota for, I think it was like SK maybe, I don't know exactly. He was a really good Dota player.
I didn't know he was on a professional level.
Yeah, he was really, really good. And actually, I'm going to give you a bit of a sneak because it is State of the Game, JP, and you love your little ins.
I love my ends, guys. I don't know what that means.
So there's a Dota 2 team that's qualified for the WCG, the South Korea WCG, and he's been offered to go play for that team.
South
WCG
Korean team
already.
What?
Yeah.
Well, shit.
That's
awesome.
what
I've been told, guys.
So
he
flash
can play
your
in
shirt and
WCG
say
already.
sup, son. Jesus. Congrats.
Yeah, that's how easy it is, man. You go from StarCraft 2,
like,
you
switch played
games.
StarCraft? Like, yeah, please, come on. You have more APM than our whole team combined.
God, QXC is going to announce later today that he's retiring from StarCraft, and then Complexity's just going to have a new League of Legends team, man. That's what's going to happen.
6 p.m. QXC retires from StarCraft 2. 7 p.m. QXC creates League of Legends StarCraft 2 or League of Legends team. 8 p.m. God. League of Legends QXC team qualifies for WCG.
And of course, I was told that by OD, the Team Dignitas manager.
Gotcha.
So that's proper truth.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, OD, for that information. Not Apollo. He's not thanked here though.
I'm just the middleman. I try to take it as my own credit, and then he's like, "You better fucking mention me, man."
There you go. There you go. That reminds me of something. We talked about Montecristo earlier. He's a League of Legends guy. He's going over to Korea. He's going to be casting for OGN, casting the Champions League. In his announcement, he also said that he's going to be casting OSL. Do you know anything about that, Wolf?
Yeah, actually, he used to play. He said he was in Master League at some point. He played really high level in the beta. I know all this from Doa, because I talk to Doa about this stuff all the time, but basically he said he was in Master League. He hasn't played a lot in recent times, but that he knows. He said that he knows a lot about the game, but I guess that Doa is probably going to take over most of that, whereas he's going to kind of cover most of Doa's League of Legends, because Doa, you know, he's been practicing a lot, he's been studying a lot, but obviously doesn't have the same extensive amount of knowledge, so I guess they're going to kind of piggyback off of each other for both the broadcasts.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure he'll get his welcoming to the community when Reddit makes a post flaming the shit out of him. What?
That's when you know you've made it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what Moletrap, what he's up to? Because I thought he was going to be casting that.
Nobody really knows if he's going to be casting, if there's going to be 3 of them, or if he plans on leaving, or if there's going to be some sort of rotation, or if there's a 3-person cast. I don't have any information about that. It seems like because there's another person coming that he may have plans to leave, but I can't say that with certainty.
Interesting. Okay. And I guess Grubby was a one-time.
Yeah, he was just a guest caster for them because they had some problems finding people, I guess, at that time. I don't know exactly the story behind that.
All right. Sorry for that little divergence. So, kind of sad to see Select go, kind of sad to see SC go, but we haven't really seen either of them too frequently here in the scene in quite some time. So, I think we're going to take a quick break, guys. When we come back, we'll be breaking down GSL Dreamhack, previewing the OSL Finals, and then talking about MLG Dallas next week, where I can finally once talk about MLG without being an employee. So, be right back. We're going to run some ads here, and I'm going to go get a drink of water. All right, guys, welcome back. I had to get rich real quick, but now it's all gone again. So thank you for pointing that out in chat, Apollo. Let's talk about GSL first. GSL Finals wrapped up on Saturday morning, Friday evening for some people, and Apollo, go ahead and say what you're going to say, because this was your original thought. I don't want to steal it, but I agree.
All right, the GSL Finals. To be honest, I don't know if you guys... I'm sure Wolf watched it. I don't know if you watched it, QXC, but it wasn't as good as everyone thought it was. Yeah, I didn't think the games were that good, to be honest. I think most of them were very one-sided. They were... I mean, even though it was 4-3, I think the specific one-on-one games were more one-sided than most finals tend to be, and it just kind of seemed a lot like a lackluster finals for me personally.
It felt like the series was good because of the scores, but the actual games were not so good. I actually feel the same way about that. It was just kind of like snowball effect games where you just watch one player die throughout the game, and they're like, all right, well, maybe he can win the next one. I completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the games are just kind of, for me, expecting to be like, all right, life seems unbeatable right now. He's so good. MVP, bring it on. I really want to know what MVP is going to do. MVP goes Blue Flame Hellions in like 4 games out of 7, maybe 5, and every single game, Life doesn't get a Roach Warren, Life loses 20 drones, and the game becomes invalid for me because I'm like, well, why like this? And a lot of the times games were ended because of this, and I just didn't think that was a good finals to have.
Well, QXC, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that really confused me about the games was, I agree with you, Apollo, in that you were saying a lot of the games felt really one-sided. It was like either MVP won very early on or he lost later. But I was really confused because I didn't feel like we saw MVP's really strong late game that we saw at IEM Global Finals, where we saw him PFing and mass tanks, and he always had his Ravens in time, and the Broodlords would come in, and he would, split his Ravens and Vikings up and Hunter Seeker them, and he would win the battle, and then he would, go on and take the game. It was like, Life was like, hey, look, Broodlords, and MVP was like, duh, I have tanks, like, I don't have Ravens, I don't have Thors, really, and so
it was like he wasn't really on top of his game that day,
Well, how much was his wrist coming into play is what I want to know, because it's always a factor that we always hear about kind of after the fact. But do you know, Wolf, like if his wrist was fucking really bothering him that day? Because it seems like he only had a couple of builds total during the whole final.
In like the round of 4, a lot of people were telling me that he was telling his coaches and his friends that his wrists were really bothering him, but I didn't hear anything about that for the finals, but I'm sure that kind of continued. And wrist issues are actually a real thing a lot of the time for some people. It's not just like a PR statement that people make when they lose, but I think that it probably affected him to some extent. Like exactly what QXC said. At IEM he looked so good with the style that he played basically the exact same style, but now when I was watching him in the finals against Life, it wasn't like Life was 1,000 times better than the Zerg opponents he played at IEM, but actually it was more so that MVP was just not on his game.
Tank Viking can't win, but he kept on doing it anyway. Like, it can't win.
Yeah, it's really not like a unit composition that makes sense against the Broodlord Corruptor and Fester Ball. I really think what he came up with at IEM, or came up with before what we saw at IEM, is the solution. That couple Ravens, or even mass Ravens, whatever. And then he kind of like forgot that he was so good. He was like, so like a month or 2 ago, I was really freaking good at this, but I'm like a new man. I've changed. I've forgotten that. I don't like winning very much anymore, so I think I'm gonna use some of my weaker strategies. And which seems. For a lot of players, I'd be like, okay, he's a little inconsistent. Like, that happens. It's really hard to play consistently all the time. But I was really surprised that it happened with MVP, who usually when I watch him, there was like a kind of a couple-month period with Home Story where I felt like MVP wasn't really performing. But then before that and after that, like, he always seemed super solid, super on top of what he was doing. Like, he knew his game, he'd follow through with it. And then the finals, it was like, not really.
There weren't too many instances that he was caught up late game, though. There was only 1 or 2. I mean, game 1 on Cloud Kingdom was probably the biggest one, because he was on like 4 bases. There was like no excuse not to have, the equipment late game. And then it was kind of it, I think. In terms of, I mean, okay, Entomb Valley maybe is a little bit as well, but I think on Entomb Valley, thinking about it, I think you have to credit Life a lot as well, because his denial of bases and resources was really, really good in that game. Like, he kept on sniping that. He sniped the 4th command center a couple of times, not even sniped it, but prevented it from going down, cancelled it a couple of times. He did that to the 5th throughout the game, and it felt like MVP was a bit starved, because if he did try to go over to Ravens and stuff, game 2 Entombed.
Oh, okay.
If he did try to do something like that, then I don't think he'd have any army in the ground anyway. And then I think the other game it happened on as well was Ohana, which is where he went for a timing again, but it didn't work and he fell back short.
I know, Apollo, you jotted down a specific timestamp here, kind of in the final game, set number 7. Can you kind of walk us through this? You said it was the moment where MVP messed up.
Yeah, so, I mean, I talked about it a bit before, and in QXC, I mean, I'd love to hear your insight too. So there's a point in the game, basically, where MVP is about to... So he has a sick advantage. He goes Blue Flame opening again, 2 factory, kills 15 drones, has easy access to take a 3rd, easy access to take a 4th, and then, as he's taking his 4th, he encounters this attack on his 4th through Ling and Muta. He splits up his army, he leaves a couple of Hellions and a couple of Thors to actually hold it off, and then he sends the rest of his army to go snipe a 5th base in the middle. I think it was more of a coin-flippy decision, because he doesn't know what his opponent's doing. He doesn't scan, he doesn't know his army composition, he obviously thinks that his Ling Muta is his army, but what happens is he sends for like 4 to 5 Thors, 2-3 tanks, and a couple of Hellions to kill this 5th base, which is going up. This is like his 4th and 5th base, because Life is playing from so far behind. And he goes in, and he picks off this hatch, but then loses everything in return because his Ling and Roach is his follow-up. Because Life didn't decide to go to Hive off 3 base like you see a lot of Zergs do, he actually stayed on mid-tier army for a little longer. And I think that was the decision that cost MVP the game. And I was trying to think, why would he do that? Why would he, put that tournament life on the line? I think it was because, as simple as it sounds, he just expected a Hive to be there on that kind of scenario.
Yeah,
I
mean, it's really hard to say what's going through his head in the tournament match. There's a lot of factors, and it could have been something as simple as just, this is game 7. This attack is going to do a ton of damage to me, and I just want to do something to try and take it. And so he got a little over-eager, because obviously most of the time you can usually scan and see what kind of follow-up they're doing, but sometimes you can't, or sometimes the game gets a little too chaotic, and that isn't really an option. So, I don't know, it can often be difficult to know when to counterattack, particularly as a mech player, because a lot of your counterattack opportunities come from your opponent's unit composition. Like, if I'm going Marine Tank, I pretty much know, unless you have like some surprise Ultras or surprise Broodlords, like, I can fight your army. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, I've got tanks, I've got Marines, I can go, I can do things. But if you're moving out with a bunch of Thors and your opponent's very Muta heavy, then that's good for you. But if you move out with a bunch of Thors and your opponent has Roaches, then that's really bad. If you move out with a bunch of Thors and tanks and they just go pure Roach, like, then you can get run over. And there's a lot of different ways that Zerg can remax, that when your unit count for mech is low, that you might not necessarily be prepared to deal with them. So
yeah,
I think it's kind of like that.
It's hard to have the right ratio when someone's making either mutas or roaches and you don't know which one. If you make too many Thors, then you get run over by roaches really bad, and if you don't have enough tanks, or vice versa, it can occur as well.
Right.
It's like you said, especially occurs when you're low on units.
I think that was really smart from Life that he did a lot was when he went Spy, he went 1 Evo Chamber, and he switched up his upgrades. Like, he never went like 1-1-2-2, as you see a lot of Zerg players went. He went 1-0 and then 2-1, and he always researched missile upgrades, always level 1 instead of, I think it was instead of Carapace. I'm not sure. I think it's instead of Carapace, and it always gives you this switch to use Infestors and Terrans a lot more, and these Roach snipes as well. Like the Roach switches he made, the thing is that make Life so good is that his counterattacks are number 1 that just are so good, but then that kind of got stopped as the series went on. MVP kind of dealt with that, but the amount of tech switches that are viable, I mean, late game you can go from Broodlords to Ultras, and you can even go all the way down to Roachling again, and it's very difficult, I think, as a Terran player, especially if you talk about, when you go up to Ravens too, and you invest in that. If you invest in Ghosts, you get run over by Ultras if you're trying to fight Infestors as well. I think that's one of the more difficult things late gamers Terran to deal with, which I think Life used well.
I will say, as I'm watching this right now on screen in the replay, I was so annoyed that MVP took so long to leave the final game. He waited until like the very last second, even after losing a CC there, his 4th in the center. So, There was a question that was brought up yesterday on Live on 3 that I thought was a pretty interesting one. They were, I think it was Scoots that posed it. He was saying, what was more interesting, MVP winning or Life winning? Now, I want to ask you guys as well and see what your thoughts are, and steal that from Live on 3. So, Wolf, in your opinion, what would have been more interesting, if MVP won or what happened that Life won?
You know, whenever you have a story of a player who's rising, whether it's Rain because he's a new KeSPA player and he might Royal Road, or you have Life who's really young and he's also Royal Roading, and you have the player who's kind of the defender, I always like it. And even if you look at a player like Marine King, he's lost so many finals, he's had so many second places. My ideal finals, actually, I wanted to see MVP versus Marine King again and have Marine King lose again, or to have Life come in there and lose again, and MVP actually gets his 5th trophy, that GSL 5 trophy, G5L or whatever the trophy's actually called, and get that and smile and take it, and Life has to try again. That's my kind of final. I like to see the favorite, like the old school guy, still win instead of being taken out by like the younger maybe faster player. Nobody knows exactly why, you know, he's so good suddenly, but I don't like the upstart story so much personally.
Apollo, what do you think?
I like the way it panned out, I think, this GSL. I mean, I think, like I said, I think if the finals would have been a better finals to watch, I think it would have been really, really good. I liked that Life did it, you know, joined, won. I like that a lot. I think I like the... I would have, maybe, I'm thinking about it, and I think I'd actually prefer MVP to win. I would have liked to see a 5-time title like that, especially considering the tough times that Terran are going through at the moment. I think that would have been really, really nice, especially against Zerg. But I like the way it ended anyway. I like that Life won.
It must have really sucked to know that trophy was made for you, and like they're like, let's get this trophy, let's set it on stage, probably where he can see it or at least get a glance of it before the event. And he's like, God, damn it. Like, I thought that was almost kind of a dick move on GSL's part, to be honest. Like, that's something you surprise someone with. You don't like put it out here and be like, well, you also get this if you win. Just a little bit more pressure.
I like that. I like that pressure. I thought that was really exciting.
Well, as a spectator, it's awesome, but like as a player, it's like a fuck.
It creates this idea of you know, this 5-time champion, like the best player in the world. I mean, the best player in Korea at the very least. Idea with that trophy just sitting there. It's like, can he keep doing it? Then you have, I don't like it so much when you have a player like Jokchi who wins a GSL, then completely falls out, or Fruit Dealer just completely falls out, and then it's like, I remember when Jokchi won, but when I think about Jokchi, I don't think, well, he is a badass that you should definitely watch out for him in the group. Whereas when you see MVP's name, you just know how strong he is, and even to further that story is really cool to me.
QXC, what were your thoughts? Would you have rather MVP to win, or were you
I like
right
when
with
Terran
Life?
wins.
Okay. That's true. I shouldn't have even asked.
Most Terran players actually say they love it when Zerg wins, man.
Yeah, because then it's more likely that Blizzard is going to nerf Zerg. But I like to take a more proactive approach. I don't like to leave my fate in the hands of them.
Jesus. All right, well, that was GSL. The up and down matches are actually happening right now. I know some have happened. Let me pull up the results for that. MMA, was that last night or the night prior? Where he was
that was 2 nights ago, I feel. Well, it depends on what you call last night, because right now it's 6 a.m. and it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, you are in Korea. Let's see here.
It may have even been 3 nights ago, but I think it was
October 22nd.
Okay, so that was 3 days ago.
Let's pull up the results here. So, let's see. Everything but Group E has actually gone down. Hyun and Back One, DRG and Yoda, Keen and Parting, Seed and Ryung last night, and then Group E is actually tonight, the final night. Kind of the biggest things to occur, I guess, MMA not making it, and also last night Flash not making it. Also Supernova, I think he was close to winning the Nest T Award. Is that right, Wolf?
Yeah, if he had gotten into Codes again, he would have gotten the Nest T Award, so a lot of pressure on him.
What's the Nest T Award?
The Nest T Award is actually being in GSL Codes 10 seasons in a row. Only Nest T has done it actually so far. Without falling into Code. I mean, you know, technically he's in the up and down matches, but with a new format, unless he doesn't get out, he's still in Code S.
Oh, okay.
Seems like a joke, but it's actually a award, QXC.
Yeah, it's actually a real thing. It was kind of sad to see. You know, I actually personally don't like this group format so much because you have 3 players on 2-2, but because of the way that it worked out, one doesn't get out. For example.
Yeah. Wait. How did that end
work?
up happening?
So if you look at those results there, you can see that Sirius went 1-3, but the rest of the players were tied. If you compare the wins together, Ryung was able to beat Supernova and he was able to beat Flash, so he was the one who advances. But he also lost to Sirius, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of like, it's kind of like, well, he lost to Sirius, so does that mean that he lost the worst player in the group, but then he's still better than the other two somehow? It's kind of a weird.
It says he beat.
It's kind of a weird format.
Oh wait. No, Supernova beat Sirius, according to.
We're talking about.
No, I'm talking about Ryung.
Oh, sorry.
He lost
to Sirius and he
ball.
also lost to Seed.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
So
that is kind of interesting.
It's a weird format. It gets especially weird when you have 6 players, but with 5 players, it's a little bit more clean. I don't particularly care for it myself. I'd rather see 4-player groups, but you'd have to change the entire GSL to do that, so that'll probably never happen.
Tonight's Group E, saying Heart Happy Finale, MC and Sparta. MC's probably the biggest name in there, obviously, coming off of, was it round of 4 in OSL? Is that right?
Yeah, he lost to Dunkmaker.
Lost to
third
DRG.
place.
Oh, that's right. He ended up winning, I guess, the 3rd, 4th.
Yeah, he beat last 4-3.
So, yeah, we'll see if MC can make it out of that.
I'm really...
God, so many games in this. How long are those casts, Wolf?
Sometimes they can go for 5 hours. I remember one time I was casting with Doa a long time ago, and there was a tiebreaker, and I think the matches ended at like 2 a.m.
Crazy.
And back then I lived at the Gome house, which is so nearby the studio, so it's no problem. But if it happened to me now, I would have to have a very expensive taxi ride home. I think that it would be really interesting to see Hart get out of the group. I think that I actually love players who all in because there's something scary about that type of player. That's why when you had Line or Suho Shen, whatever you want to call him, in Code S, it was cool to see that he could play a macro game sometimes, but he's such a scary player to face. And the same could be said of Hart. And I think that right now in Code S, most players are playing for the late game. There's not too many all-ins, so I like to see players like that in Code S.
Apollo, who do you think's going to make it through? Hold on. Let's let Apollo speak. He's been very quiet.
All right.
I'm actually very interested in Terminator. I mean, I've seen some of his games. He looks pretty good. So I want to see him do well. I think Terminator to do well, and also, let me have a look at the group. I just got it up. I want to see MC go through just because it's MC, and I want to see Terminator go through too.
I think it would be weird if MC didn't go through, but he has been a little bit inconsistent as of late. He looks like really good in some series, but other series, not as much.
It almost seemed like MC was focusing more on the OSL at the beginning of GSL, I felt like. But maybe that's just because he did better in OSL than GSL. Maybe that's where I'm drawing that conclusion from. QXC, sorry. What were you going to say?
I think this is a really good group for Hart. I think Terran and Protoss are the easiest to play his style against. Zerg, it almost always feels like you're going into a macro game if they want it to be that way. And we've definitely seen Hart do really good against Protoss and Terran with some of his 1 base timings, 2 base timings, different things like that. So I think he's got really good chances there. But that can be counteracted a little bit because all the players in this group have time to study him, and I don't think it's any real secret how he plays. So if he can... It's kind of one of those things, like you want them to think you're macroing when you're all-inning, and you want them to think you're all-inning when you macro. And so if he can pull off that deception, I think he'll make it out.
All right. Well, we'll see when that goes. Wolf, are you going to try to sleep between now and then? That's what I want to know.
Probably not. I don't think I have time for that. So
Great.
It's going to be a long night for me, but it'll be fun. I like to challenge myself.
Well, Apollo, this past weekend you were in Bucharest. Did you kill any vampires, man?
I tried to. I thought I was actually sitting next to one in the airport. But
Really?
Yeah. There was one old man that looked exactly like him.
Did you get some silver out? Try to touch him with it?
Unfortunately, I couldn't carry silver in my hand luggage, so I was a little bit worried about that.
You wear a cross?
But I survived, so...
Regardless, we saw Nurchio taking the tournament 3-0 over Bly, Mana taking 3rd/4th because there was no playoff for that. What did you guys think of the tournament overall? Wolf, did you happen to catch... I hate asking people this because the answer is probably no. Did you happen to catch the games?
I actually followed the results pretty closely. Like, I always, when I'm either in a taxi or in the subway, when there's a tournament like that going on, I just keep refreshing the results to see who's winning and stuff. Mm-hmm. I felt like this tournament overall had less overall skilled players than some of the other tournaments because most of the top players have already qualified, so they just didn't go. But I thought it was kind of cool to see a foreigner take it.
I felt like not having the Apex players there was a pretty big blow to the tournament, and everyone kind of realized that going in. The numbers overall, what did you guys capped out at, like 36? I think was confirmed.
Yeah, that was the peak. Yeah.
Yeah. So numbers were kind of down. I didn't happen to catch any. I was home for the weekend. QXC, did you happen to catch any of Bucharest?
I don't like it when Terran loses.
That actually hurt the viewership a lot. I mean, there wasn't a single Terran in top 8.
Yeah,
there wasn't
only
any star-studded Koreans. Exactly, yeah.
STC and Rain being the only 2 here.
Yeah, both lost to Zerg and Protoss in the round of 16. So at that point, I actually wasn't interested at all.
The big kind of breakout players, of course, Giant taking a game off Nurchio, the eventual winner. Was that the only game? I know Starnan also did it as well here in bracket play. Giant, are we going to see more of him, Apollo?
I don't know. He had a fantastic run here. I hope we do see more of him. I think in his in the group stage number 2, he went 3-0, including wins over the STC and Paranoid. So I think that was pretty cool as well. The thing is, what I love about the Dreamhack Open that is different from a lot of other tournaments is that it's an open tournament and it goes to countries where you don't really see, and the players in those countries don't really have the opportunity to travel to big events. So like in Romania, you've got so many neighboring countries such as Bulgaria, where Giant came from. I think that's a really cool aspect to how the Dreamhack Open works, is that they go to these countries, they say, hey guys, there's a tournament a couple of hours away from you, come and play. And then we do get stories like that. Giant goes to the round of 16, which nobody expects, takes a game off the eventual winner. We had Starnan, who basically hasn't been to any events before, only Dreamhack ones, has been like top 64, and then got a semi-final finish as well. And it always seems to happen at Dreamhack events where players, make their breakout performances. I think that's always an awesome thing to see.
Yeah. The finals, were they interesting to you, Apollo? It was a 3-0. ZVZ.
No, they weren't interesting. It was incredibly one-sided. Nurchio is so good at Zerg vs. Zerg, and he didn't even look... didn't even break a sweat in any of the games, really. He was just always on top of his opponent at every corner.
This is the game, I believe, this was on Daybreak. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to discuss, I guess, here in this. Coming up, we do have, I guess, is there anything else to mention on Dreamhack, Apollo? What is the next Dreamhack event?
Apart from all the players that are qualified, because that was the last stop of the tour. So there's been 4 stops so far. There was one in Stockholm itself. Then there was the Dreamhack Summer. And then it was Valencia, then Bucharest. So there's 4 stops that are done, and they actually have the player list for winter, which I think is pretty cool. You can look at.
Yeah, let's go and pull that up.
So the Dreamhack Winter Tournament is a 24-player tournament. It's 20 players that are directly qualified through the Dreamhack ISO Open throughout the year, and then there's 4 slots that are open through the BYOC held at the event. And the player list is actually really good. I mean, you got the winners of each, the finalists, of each stop, which is like Thorzane Pult, Mana Damaga, Tasia, 4GG, Nurchio, Bly. And then you got the players that are qualified through the point system too.
Yeah, here it is right now. I guess if their MC's not going to be able to make it, apparently.
That's 2011, man.
Is it? I pulled up the wrong thing? Sick!
Yeah.
I blame TLPD.
Yeah, go to DreamHack Winter 2012 and it'll have all the players there.
Okay, regardless, I'll do this in 1 second.
Alright, so the players that are qualified by points is like Stefano, Sase, Rhett, Fryer, which I really want to see do well. Targa, STC, Hero, of like Team Liquid's Hero, MVP Monster, TLO, who managed to sneak in with this last tournament, Soke, Naniwa, and then Starnan as well. It's a pretty diverse set of players.
You think the lack of... Well, I mean, I guess there are pretty big Korean names in here. Tasia, Polt, 4GG, and I guess Monster. We haven't really seen Monster lately, have
Monster played in the Stockholm ISO Open and did pretty well there. I remember casting that with you, actually, Apollo. I would like to see maybe Naniwa do well at this event. He's been training a lot right now. Maybe he could actually... I mean, the thing is, with Naniwa, he kind of goes into like the ice cave and trains and then comes out again, and you're not really exactly sure like which Naniwa you're going to get when you see him at an event.
Yeah.
So...
To be honest, I think this, like... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jippy.
Nope, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Anyways.
Yeah, but, okay, well, I was going to change the subjects.
Oh, well, I was going to say Naniwa...
You can either go for... Do it.
Naniwa has been appearing somewhat different on Twitter as of late. Of course, he did have the drama with Husky, but he apologized.
I was actually sitting right behind him when he was doing that.
Really?
I was telling him that.
Wait. Hold on. Real talk. Did you tell him, hey, you should apologize to Husky. His fans are going to destroy you.
I actually told him that he shouldn't do it while he was typing it, but I think it was out of his own... self-realization. I decided to apologize because I went back into I had to cast the Iron School qualifiers with Kelrod, so I was at the house, and he apologized without me telling him to. So
okay, all right, I had to ask that. Apollo, what were we going to change subject?
So I was going to change the subject to a lot of people that can look at the playlist of many tournaments and be like, well, there's not too many Koreans in there. And I think this is a subject that everyone in this could actually pitch in on, is that unless Koreans are invited, they aren't going to foreign tournaments, guys, because they don't have the money to go. The Dreamhack,
they don't even fucking have salaries, so...
Yeah, exactly. So it's and from what I've been told as well, rumors on the street is that Paul is even having difficulty coming to Dreamhack Winter because he doesn't TSL don't have good sponsorship to send him.
So Paul can't even attend?
Yeah, like he's not confirmed. It's still he's still on 50-50s on the fence. Like I'm not sure if I can come yet. I'm working on it. But that's going to happen a lot in tournaments. Unless companies pay for Koreans to go, they aren't going anymore, guys, because they just can't afford it. It's not like they don't want to come. It's because they can't afford it. Like, MC's probably the exception because he plays for SK Gaming. And Team Liquid the same for Hero and Taser because they pay for them.
So, Apollo, what you're saying is you're being biased towards MLG and saying they have it right in paying for these Korean players to come. Can I quote
Well, if you want Korean players to play in your tournament, you're going to have to pay. So, yeah,
it's an investment it's an important investment to make, you know. It's going to improve your viewership quite significantly. I feel paying to bring players out is almost even as important as which caster you're going to have at your event or what type of production you're going to have.
Absolutely.
Because if you have a lower level tournament, then people just are not going to be interested, especially if with the kind of saturation we're at right now, those top level players are playing in another tournament either at the same time or really close near, like if they played yesterday for the tournament, you're like, well, I just saw 6 Korean players yesterday, and I don't want to watch European players. So,
yeah, I definitely think that's a good point. We'll see what the numbers are next week for MLG because they do have the KeSPA players coming over, and I think Slasher was saying this last night on Live on 3. We'll preview the groups here in a little bit, but those fucking groups are so stacked, and we get to see the KeSPA players play against people other than themselves, which, like the drama in that, the spectatorship of watching that happen is going to be absolutely incredible.
Before we move on to that, though, can I just say something about what Wolf said?
Yeah, no, I wasn't moving on. I was just making that point. Like, I was agreeing with you. Like, the KeSPA players being at MLG is what's making that tournament interesting to watch next week. There's no other... I mean, there are other things, but that's the biggest one.
But there's still stuff we can do. Why was WCS Europe so big? There was no Koreans. Why was that so big? Why was there 100K concurrent on the stream?
Because the promotion for it was really, really incredible. And the production was really, really
So does that mean that if a tournament wants to do well, they don't need to spend money on Koreans to attend? They need to spend money on promotion and hype?
Well, I think you spread it around. I mean, like the Dreamhack production was probably, I think, one of the for WCS Europe was probably one of the best we've seen so far. The tournament on Blizzard's end was promoted very, very... Wasn't that the first one they promoted in client or no? I want to say that was...
I don't think it was in client.
I don't actually remember if it was or not. But
I think I've seen a lot of WCS in client. I think I can't remember.
I mean, I think there's always been like, hey guys, this is happening this weekend, but I don't think there's only been a couple events that are like click here and go straight to the stream.
Yeah. The other thing, Apollo,
that's recent.
The storyline for that, watching, Jesus, I can't remember the fucking name. Lucifron and his brother played. That storyline was also like really, really awesome to follow. It was there all weekend long until the very, very final. Of course, Stefano was there. He draws a bunch of viewers. I think that tournament was kind of the culmination of a lot of different things that led to people being interested in it. Kind of drawing parallels to Bucharest there, it wasn't that interesting. Like, even going in, I was like, well,
yeah.
I mean, it's Dreamhack. It's going to be good production, but I don't have any – there's no draw to this tournament.
I noticed that, Apollo, you were tweeting about TLO doing really well at the event. That's not something we talked about. I didn't actually get to see any of those games, but that seemed like if I could take away from like every tweet I saw from every pro gamer and caster and personality, the only story I heard from the tournament was TLO. This could be his tournament, but I guess it turned out it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, he lost the Nurture, which is a difficult way to go out, considering he did win the tournament. But yeah. But by the way, just also is the new function on BattleNet what we talked about, where you can click go to the stream, was the Asia Finals was the first tournament that's done that, by the way.
Oh, and those numbers, they weren't shit, but I don't think they were very strong, were they?
The production seemed a little bit weak for that. Every time I tried to tune in, I had audio problems. I couldn't hear what either of the casters were saying. A lot of the time, their levels were so wrong. I don't know what went wrong there exactly, but I think that really affected the viewership quite significantly because the players were pretty good.
And I do want to make the note that wasn't Blizzard's production. That was the company that was
Sina TV.
Yeah, that was in charge of that.
So is that the company that's doing the grand finals?
I don't know. Like, I honestly think if Blizzard saw that and they were in charge of the finals at that point, that Blizzard is probably like, guys, we gotta fuck, man, we gotta get some new fucking production people. Because if that's the finals, when everyone's gonna be drawing comparisons to League of Legends finals, like, fuck, man, that's not good.
Yeah, and not only that, it'll be compared to the WCS Europe finals too, because you have to do that at WCS Europe. Like, that was so good, you can't have the grand finals worse.
And I don't know if they can top it, man.
Dreamhack's fault, man.
Yeah, it's Dreamhack. You guys fucked up. You're killing StarCraft 2, man. The game's dead because of you. Like, Jesus. Yeah,
I felt like the Chinese production was probably a little bit better than the English production. Well, I saw some shots, and it looked like that was pretty sick production, but sometimes that doesn't always translate.
I got the biggest problem with WCS China the production wise was just the shot of the casters. It looked like they were in like a janitor's closet. Like, there were shadows all over them. They were like they were little boxes. Like, here's the shot, and they're like little boxes in the center and the back. Like, if they would have zoomed in the camera, I think that illusion would have gone away. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I think that's definitely shouldn't be, but that's definitely a big draw to the WCS finals. Is what is it going to look like? Because if it looks like WCS China, we're in trouble.
Also, I mean, while we're on WCS, I'd love to hear your guys' comments, especially QXC too. What about the player list, guys?
What do you mean?
Good
or bad?
The race distribution.
I thought it was even. Is it not?
No, there's like 4 Terrans. There's no Korean
Oh,
Terrans.
right, yeah. We mentioned that last week. There's 4 Terrans, and none of them will make it past the round of 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Major was on, and he was like...
Dude, I got a short memory. I'm sorry.
Guys, I'm not
I remember we did that last week.
Yeah. Apollo's like, guys, what do you think of this player list? We're like, what player list are you talking about? He's like, I don't know.
Next thing Apollo's gonna be like, guys, did you see Destiny's new post? Oh shit, guys. Destiny made a post on Reddit. The Slayers drama. Oh shit, man.
Oh shit. Sorry. My bad.
Not a problem. Where the fuck were we? What were we talking about? Were we talking about Dreamhack?
WCS production.
Don't even know.
I don't even know. Apollo just kept like bringing up topics, man.
Destiny's post.
What do you guys think about Coke, guys? It's a pretty good drink. I think Dr. Pepper.
I like Pepsi, though. I don't know. Pepsi's pretty good, man.
Pepsi is terrible, man.
You think Pepsi is terrible?
Yes.
I really like Pepsi.
Coke is better than Pepsi.
Well, actually, I like Coke better than Pepsi in America, but in Korea it's different.
Wolf, this will settle this. There's a reason there's no Pepsi and Jack. It's a Jack and Coke. Okay.
That's true.
Wow.
Okay.
Because a
Boom.
Jack sounds stupid.
A what? A Pepsi and Jack sounds... Yeah, because no one drinks it.
No, it sounds stupid because of the way words work and sound. I bet in other languages they have a Jack and Pepsi or whatever.
No, they don't.
Because it sounds cool in that language, and a Coke and Jack sounds dumb.
Apollo, are there any drinks in Sweden that have a Swedish name that sound cool that don't sound cool?
Oh shit! What's that Swedish drink? There's a drink. They basically have their own Coke. It would be perfect for this discussion.
Go ask James.
But I don't know. I forgot what it's called.
I actually
Go wake
tried
him
that
up.
when I was there. It was really-
Yeah. God, there's gonna be someone in the chat that'll know. I hope you. I don't
No,
know
it's
if you
on
have a Swedish
sub-only mode,
subscriber.
man.
That's true. Maybe someone will tweet me. But yeah, they have this on their own Coke, and I don't know why they drink it when they have Coke here.
Well, on this topic, QXC was talking about how in a different language they would call it maybe something else. But the thing is, Jack and Coke just don't. They transcend language. They're just brand names. So
Oh, that's
I guess
so
that
true.
I guess that we're just
You
gonna
can
have
order a Jack and
forever.
Coke anywhere in the world.
That's
QXC.
kind of except in Chinese, Coke is actually like Coca-Cola. That's like Coca-Cola.
You can have a Jack and Cola, man. They'd understand that. Probably, maybe.
I bet they have other names. Wait, what about like if it was French, it'd be like Jacqueline or Jack.
There it is.
And if it was Asian, it'd be like Jackie Chan and Coke.
Whoa, that was almost racist comment, man. You need to get out of here with that. I don't know what happened.
Look at that.
Look at what?
I put the picture in the chat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna give us WCS player list.
No, man.
Wait, this is...
Did you see like Inside the Game the other day? Like,
Wait, what is... It's not going to look good in the overlay, but what is this?
oh, it doesn't matter. That's the Swedish drink I was talking about.
And it's alcoholic?
No, it's
It's a cola.
Oh,
Really?
it's a Coke. Oh, dude, it's
Yeah.
made by gnomes. Look at that. Look at that little guy.
Made by gnomes.
Yeah, man.
yeah,
they
it is
fucking...
made by gnomes.
Look at it. There's a little dome.
That's
Fuck.
Santa's.
I bet
It's
you
like
that is the
Igor's cousin.
sickest looking drink.
Next time you guys come to Sweden, I'll make sure I come and give you one.
It's pretty good. I tried it last time I was
Hey,
there.
is James coming to Dallas next week? Do you know, Apollo?
He's still 50-50 about it. Maybe
Tell him if he
maybe
comes to
I'll
bring some
one.
of this.
Yeah.
Or wait, you just bring me some. What the fuck? You're gonna be there. Bring me some Julmust. I guess. I want some because it's made by Hux people. Let's move on here. Talk about...
We have more topics.
Yeah, man.
Fun.
We're not just talking about drinks for the rest
Did
of
you
the
guys
show.
see what Destiny posted?
God damn it. That's going to become a troll now on State of the Game. Is every episode like months from now. Guys, Destiny.
Don't encourage him to continue his posting. He's probably gonna. There will probably be something posted at every State of the Game that he did that you guys could actually talk about. So it won't be clear which one you're referring to.
Probably true. It's probably true. Let's talk about OSL. The finals are happening at 4 a.m. They're not changing it to an earlier time like GSL, which I think probably will hurt viewership. On Saturday morning, Rain versus DRG. Wolf, how interesting is that final to you?
I think it's going to be really interesting. Dongrygu's been preparing a lot. You can tell that he really values the OSL right now. He really wants to win this. He kind of looked a little bit shaky in his past GSL seasons. He wasn't able to get his team to Busan for GSTL Finals last time. Wasn't able to go to Busan, his hometown, for that either. And I think that this is going to be, again, a cool story where it's like his moment versus Rain, who's just doing phenomenally in StarCraft 2. And I think that Rain will actually beat him. I don't think he has a chance. He may take a game or two, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it because I think he's going to freeze up and get nervous and stressed out again.
Apollo, what do you think?
I think Rain's going to win too. I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rain already beat Dongrygu in the same tournament in the group stage.
That's what I'm pulling up right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. And it was quite convincing. I think it was on the Toon Valley, and it was really, really good. And then if you look at all the other players that Rain's beaten, and Zerg players too, he's like almost undefeated. I think he's lost a couple of games against Zerg players, but not too many. And even those were coming from his earlier days, in like the official scene. And I think that he's gone into this, especially because he couldn't go to the GSL Finals. I think he put everything into this. Because he said before, like when he was in the semifinals of both, he said that I'm going to win one of them, at least one of them. So I think he's out of the GSL. He's going to 100% go for this. And Dongrygu's style's been out there a lot more recently than Rain has. Rain's been a little bit, after GSL, he's just kind of gone underground a little bit more now, right? So I think he's going to come out stronger than ever. Dongregu's been playing against Protoss players live recently, and it's been going Ling Muda a lot. And I think Rain's going to come in, and I think Rain's going to win like 4-1, 4-2.
Hey, QXC, there's no Terran in here. Do you care?
What are we talking about?
I don't think you'll have an opinion, but Rain DRG Finals.
Which one of them is Terran?
Exactly. There it is. I knew you had to get it in. The other issue, or not issue, the other topic I want to touch on here, which I think was brought up on the Good Show, was the fact that we'll kind of be able to see viewership for this, at least the English portion of it, because I believe it's going to be streamed on Twitch. I think all the other matches have been.
There's actually been some discussion about it possibly. I've heard some rumors that it might be free high quality for the finals as well. So we'll see if that happens or not. Well, that's just a rumor. And I think that being able to see the viewership is actually a pretty big deal. That's something that a lot of people have been talking about with OSL versus the GSL, for example.
Yeah, because I mean, I've watched a couple of the matches, or they've been on, and I've tuned in just to check out the numbers, and they've been pretty middling. They've been like 1 or 2K total. I'd love to, if anyone in the chat has actually seen bigger numbers than that, please let me know. But they haven't been that great. So
I've seen some bigger numbers myself for. I remember I actually tuned in and watched the third place match. I didn't have anything going on that day. I watched that one live, and the viewer numbers started out really low. The first game, it was like maxed out at like 900 viewers, and then it started to climb, and I think it went up to maybe 8,000 or something at the end of it. So people watch it if they know about it. I feel like the OSL is not advertising globally properly right now, but that's understandable considering that their focus is primarily Korean. This is their first time trying something like this. They're a TV company more so than an online stream company, so I think they're just starting to figure it out right now.
Do you think that this should kind of fall on MLG somewhat, since they do have a partnership with with these guys?
That is something that a lot of people are talking about in Korea right now as well. A lot of people were not pleased with that tournament. A lot of KeSPA officials as well, and KeSPA obviously works
the MVP tournament, you mean? Okay.
Yeah, because players didn't show up a lot of the time. It's not MLG's fault necessarily, but this is, KeSPA players are not used to playing against foreigners and doing these online tournaments, things like this. This just didn't exist for them in StarCraft 1. And when they wake up at a strange hour, or they try to play their scheduled match and their opponent just like doesn't show, or they have to do all these complicated things. There's a lot of KeSPA players actually frustrated with that tournament, and I've heard just going through coaches, a lot of people saying that they specifically were very unhappy with how the tournament was run. So I don't think a lot of that was MLG's fault. I think a lot of it was some players just not showing up, and that always is going to happen when you have a tournament that is online like this at weird hours for one player or another player from a different region.
Yeah, and I almost wonder, like, why wouldn't MLG just throw the stream up on their site, or say, hey, go check out our partners, go check out the finals of like one of the biggest events right now in Korea. Like, they would actually make, I would think they'd make page views on that, but maybe that's not part of the, maybe it is, who knows, maybe it'll be posted.
Well,
I don't know.
right now, Doa is actually taking on big roles at OSL. He's actually helping them market, and he just got to Korea. He's just like settling in, but he's really helping them out with stuff like that, because obviously he cast the GSL and he knows how successful the GSL is. He worked at IGN. He knows kind of like what works and what doesn't to a certain extent, so he's trying to help them connect a little bit. So that may be something that helps them out, I guess, in the long run. We'll see.
Chad is saying that MLG Gold members also get HD OSL stream as well when they buy into that. So I guess that's maybe. I haven't seen MLG kind of promoting that, but maybe if you buy into that, you get Dallas next week for not
that's
for
pretty
free,
cool, actually.
but
because,
HD.
Yeah, that's cool.
I would hope that they're doing
I didn't
that.
even know that. That's
You
really
lying,
interesting.
JP?
No, I'm just going by what Chad said. I don't fucking work for MLG anymore, man.
Okay.
Sundance.
They're your subscribers, so it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that a subscriber wouldn't troll me like that. If so, I can't ban you because fuck, that's just wrong. But hopefully, maybe that is true. We'll have to look into that, because that's an awesome value. Like, it promotes MLG more to buy into their event next weekend. So, anyways, those finals will be going down at 1800 KST, which I think isn't that 4 a.m. for us?
That's the same time as GSL, basically. So
4
you
a.m.
can think about it that way.
4 a.m. Central, 5 Eastern, I think is when that is, on Saturday morning. So I think viewership might actually be pretty low compared to, I guess, what time is that for Europeans, Apollo? What time is GSL start for you?
11 a.m., the glorious time that GSL is live every single day. I wake up at 10, I go take a shower, I get my breakfast, and I go watch the GSL.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty nice.
Shit, man. Anyways, check it out if you want to watch Rain vs. DRG series. Should be pretty good regardless. Let's talk about, what else do we got? Well, let's talk about ESWC before we jump into MLG. Basically, this is Stefano's tournament. There's really not... who else is going to this event, Apollo? Do you know? Have they released a player list?
I have absolutely no idea who's playing the ESWC. I haven't followed it at all. Because it's at the same time as Dallas, so my focus is there. So I'm kind of having a look at the playlist. Night End Mana are going. There's 2 Terrans. Good God damn it.
What's wrong
I
with
don't even know these Terrans. XY.
Wow, one of them's
and
Chinese.
PSI Arc.
There's a Japanese player going? What the hell? Do they have qualifiers?
Apparently so, man.
Which Japanese
Look at
players
that
actually?
list.
Yeah,
Hey,
Jesus.
QXC, what your opinion is on ESWC, man?
Well, maybe Stefano won't win because there are a lot of CBZs, man.
You guys are just like...
We looked it up, man. What the fucking...
Well, why don't you give
found
me a link,
Artosis.
bro?
There's the new Artosis, guys. He just doesn't open anything.
Well, I don't have the stream open. Sasquatch is like, look, it's on the stream. Like, it's right there. Like, I don't have the stream open. I'm watching you guys. I like to make eye contact with the people I'm talking to.
There's
really
a Sasquatch in the Complexity House.
Wow, this... I'm not interested in this tournament. Are you kidding?
I knew that response was coming.
Oh, God.
What a joke.
Panda Tank. I hope he wins, man. Look at that guy.
I hope this Japanese guy
I have seen Panda Tank play, man. It's not good. I don't remember what tournament I saw him playing, but it was he did poorly. Let's just say that.
It was in WCS Combined Europe. I think he played in that was public. He also wears a T-shirt with a panda and a tank on it too.
That is sick. That guy better win, man. Man, like this tournament, the only draw it has is Stefano, Damaga, and Night End and Mana.
Imagine Stefano losing a Zerg versus Zerg in like the round of 32.
I know that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's a lot of Zergs.
This tournament is actually in France, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's his home.
Yeah. It's a hometown advantage.
Well,
so.
French fans are extremely loyal to the French scene, I've noticed. So they might have good viewership from France for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
So, dude, I'm pretty sure, like, as a live event, this will be a success.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, it's ESWC.
Online, it won't be.
They all just want to watch Stefano win, which is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So for that'll be interesting.
Stefano won ESWC 2011 too, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like looking to go back and win 2 times in a row. So. And
I believe this will be ESWC first big event since kind of they died, for lack of a better word. Hopefully I'm not wrong about that, but in the past the production for this event has been really awesome, really fun to watch. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't conflict too much with MLG and viewers aren't kind of split.
I just said it happened last year.
What?
Yeah, I was actually waiting for that. I was just like,
well, I was thinking back to like 2005, man. Look, I tuned you out, Apollo. If you want to know what happened, I tuned you out. I was tired of looking at someone with 2 headsets on because you look fucking really weird. I just tuned you out. Regardless, this will be going on next weekend. I think Stefano's probably the favorite to take it, as well as Panda, Tank, and Psyarc, according to the show. But we'll see. Johnny Recco actually is going. Paula, how do you think he's going to fare, your teammate?
Johnny Rico could do really well. I'm pretty sure he's going to do really well. He's actually really good. So, Idra's going. How do you Americans think he's going to do?
What?
I'm trolling.
Play Terran?
No, I'm just messing around. Johnny Rico's going to be... I think he's going to win. You heard it.
You think he's going to win?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paulo, I support you. I think
Johnny Rico's gonna win, man.
Jesus. All right.
I think he's gonna win.
Let's go to our final topic here. It's going to be MLG Dallas Preview since next Thursday we'll all be traveling. I don't think we can get a show. Although I'm going to put Apollo on the spot. I did offer to have a full-on mixer with 4 mics and a PC with a 720p webcam on it in the hotel room next Thursday, and he said, fuck no. So that's why we're not getting...
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to travel 16 hours or some bullshit number from Sweden to Dallas on the night of the tournament, and I have to go to bed and then wake up and cast at 7 a.m.
Yeah, you don't even have to play.
You guys.
Paul doesn't like StarCraft. He's gonna switch to League of Legends.
Hold on. Wolf, what time did you wake up for State of the Game today?
I woke up at about 4:45 a.m.
That's not fair. Wolf's sitting in his boxes right now.
Hold on. Wolf, if you were coming to MLG, would you want to do a State of the Game on Thursday?
Absolutely would do it, actually.
Oh, okay.
I would do it.
Interesting. Yes,
100%.
I also would do it.
QXC is going to be there, yeah.
I won't be there Thursday night, so I will be unable to.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I would.
I'm just saying, Apollo. I'm just saying.
I'm a little guy, all right? I need my sleep, okay?
Did you make that Coke? Is that what you're telling me? Did you make the Coke? That's the sweetest Coke, man.
Wait.
What?
MLG groups. Okay.
I linked them to you.
Yeah, come on.
Flash. Don't care about anybody else. There we go. You heard it here first.
QXC's incredible insight into the tournament. Let's take a look at Group A. We've got Lenok, Vibeson, Oz Hero, and then how come the Pro League people aren't seeded? Have they said why? I think I heard that they haven't decided how they're going to seed them into these events yet.
Don't you work at MLG? Can't you tell us this?
No, man. I don't work at MLG. What the fuck?
I think that they might be waiting for the season. I don't know, actually.
Season's over.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because the way that they do these things is sometimes, like, basically, as you said, they don't know exactly how they're going to do it. I lost my point somewhere there, but I just shut down like a computer. Yeah, I think that they're looking at the results from the season.
Oh, they're still doing the playoffs.
Yeah, so
okay,
that's the word I was looking for there.
Group A, Lenok. Group B, Pro League. Group C, Tasia. Group D, Heart. Easy, done.
What about Scarlet in Group D? Is she a factor?
Ooh, yeah, her ZVT is pretty good, and I don't know if Bomber knows how to deal with that. But Bomber's pretty good, so I think he'll win.
Do you think First will actually... I think First might get out of there. I don't know 100% though about that. It depends on, I guess... Daisy, I don't think has any chance, but I think First versus Bomber will occur. I don't think Heart will beat Bomber at a live event. I just don't think that'll happen.
So Axlov is messaging me. I'm asking if I can say what he just told me on air.
I think Scarlet's going to go against First.
He's typing. Yes, it's on our website. All right, so Group B has Flash in it, which means...
Flash wins.
So we have, let's see, he's going to be going up against Grubby first.
Easy.
So,
actually, Grubby might beat him. Grubby's PvT is really good.
And then
also,
winner plays STC.
The STC, I think, might easily beat Flash because he has so much experience going to these live events and playing against so many different players, foreigners, Koreans alike, and he's pretty good at TVT. I don't know if Flash will actually be able to beat him there.
I don't think the STC is not going to beat Flash.
No, I don't agree.
So?
I agree with QXC. Flash is looking so good, man. Like, he should have got out of the group today. Like, his game initially...
Actually, we can talk about this, because I feel like Flash plays a little bit like he doesn't quite know the game that well yet. I think that, like, his mechanics are really good and he's really fast. And, like, I mean, you guys saw Ryung versus Flash today, I'm sure, where he was behind, but he took really key engagements. But at the same time, he makes weird choices. And I think, like, in TVP specifically, he just always makes like a ton of Vikings without knowing what's really going on, and sometimes that works for him and sometimes that doesn't. But I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to go on to this topic or not before we finish MLG, but I didn't see it.
I didn't watch the last game, so I don't really have much to say on that yet. I was going to watch them later today.
Sorry if I spoiled that for you.
No, it's okay. Spoilers don't really matter unless it's. Actually, I prefer when games are spoiled because then when Terran loses, I don't have to watch them.
Apollo, do you have any thoughts on
that? What, Flash playing today or Flash playing in MLG?
Wolf, clarify.
Just, I mean,
Sorry, I'm like talking to 4 people at once.
To discuss, you know, Flash's decision making, I guess. Do you find it strange, like, at all, or are you just kind of thinking he's really good right now? I find some of the decisions he makes really strange. Like, he makes more medevacs than anybody. Like, he always has like 16 medevacs floating around. That's kind of a unique thing to him.
Well, I watched like 3 or 4 of his games. I didn't watch the last one, but I watched the first 3. And he looked good to me. Like, against Seed, like, super normal, super standard, like, didn't mess up at all. Against, like, Sirius, that was just kind of weird, because it was, like, 11 versus 11 pool. And then the other game, too, was, I think it was against Ryung. Ryung was the 4th game, wasn't it? Who was the 3rd game again today? Flash played.
Supernova, right?
Supernova, yeah, that's right. Supernova, I think Flash in that game, like, when I looked at it, it was not so much his decisions, but... Like, I want to call it as simple as why doesn't he have any defense set up for drops? Like, that's as simple as I want it to be, but I think there's more to it than just that. But he still looked good to me.
In the game against Ryung, and I want to ask QXC's opinion about this. I know you didn't see it, but I'll explain it to you. Basically, went for a fast 3rd CC on Whirlwind at cross spawns, which doesn't.
Was it one Rax expand? Because I might know this build because I've been watching some of his games recently. Was it one Rax expand, double gas, and then
it was
reactor
CC
Hellion?
First. No, he went CC first, and then I think he went 2 barracks follow up after that, and then got a 3rd CC. Ryung got gassed up and went double eBay, and it seemed really weird because he was so late on the gas and didn't really get a ton out of his 3rd CC. So when I see a decision like that, it seems a little bit strange to me because on cross positions, when you get a fast 3rd CC and you don't get the gas from it, the upgrades I think are more important in the long run. But just little things like that.
I think he might have been trying to meta Ryung, who has a tendency to go CC first, reactor Hellion, and then fast 3rd CC. But I'm not really sure, and without actually seeing the game, it's hard for me to give reasonable feedback. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I guess we can just move on here, but
all right.
That didn't foster the discussion I was hoping for, basically just because it wasn't really clear what I meant.
Yeah.
What
happened? Well, go ahead.
I just need to see the exact build order and the timings and the situation that the game was in, so I can get not just like hearing it and logically thinking about it, but kind of get some intuition about it. And that comes more from seeing how the game is playing out. So, just not something I can really speak on very, very easily right now.
Wolf, what happened is you got state of the game where you tried to bring up a topic and no one actually watched it.
Yeah, I've noticed that happens in the past sometimes. Anyways, I guess let's just go back to groups.
Sure. So with Flash being in Group B, I think that makes it the most important group for the tournament with Naniwa in there as well. First match being against Grubby. I'm pretty sure I have a say in what match is streamed first still.
Yeah.
So
good old JP.
I think should it be Flash and Grubby?
What, from like all the groups or from
stream?
Group B?
From the first match that's put on the tournament on Friday.
Oh, the
Grubby
very
versus
first
Flash
match.
is so big.
I think that has to be the match.
It's bigger than any other first starting game. I say that, but
Group A is going to be Oz versus who is it? Hiva.
Okay, no. Go to Group C.
Group C has the potential to be Revival versus or who's the other guy? Solky.
Yeah, Grubby versus Flash is the
Group D
obvious
is
one.
Daisy versus the same 2 people. So I think that's the biggest match.
That's really good because
so.
I think Flash is really, really good, and Grubby, like QXC said, is really good against Terran as well. So
okay, well I'll put in my 2 cents, and I'll say, hey, you should go watch State of the Game at X Point because we all agreed on it. The community will shit on you if we don't, and then I'll get my way. Let's see. I think just all in all, it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be MLG. I don't think they're doing anything new with production. I think it's still going to have the same stage, same casters. Clutch will be there. Should be interesting tournament because most of the MLGs are all pretty much the same. And that's,
I think this could be one of the best MLGs yet.
in terms of player base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's more
And
interesting than what we had
skill-based,
in
too.
Anaheim for sure, because the KeSPA players are playing other people than the 8 players that were invited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll probably be like my best MLG as well, since I started at Anaheim.
What is that? What do you mean?
Why does
Like
that
my
matter?
first MLG for me to be at was Anaheim, and that was the one I followed the most because of time zones. So I think this is be the best event. So Anaheim rally in this.
I thought you were
this is
saying
gonna be
like
the best.
I'm gonna cast the best here that I've ever casted before
No.
at MLG. I didn't get it.
I didn't get it either. I'm still not actually getting it really, but that's okay.
This is gonna be the best 2012 MLG, guys.
Okay.
All right?
That's all we're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. We'll see. Have
Perhaps.
they? I don't think they've announced who's coming in open bracket. Have they? No.
I haven't seen that. That
They usually
can
don't put that
be-
out till the very end, till like
That
the
could be
week of.
pretty important to see.
Yeah, we'll see. Sucks that Stefano's not going to be there. I was kind of sad about that. Scarlett's a pretty big storyline to follow, obviously. Also, Life is going to be there. That's very interesting. Coming off the GSL win, what group is he in?
B, C.
Oh, he's in C, so he plays
Yeah, he plays
Major
Major.
first. Major's probably not too happy about that. And then the winner of Violet versus the open bracket in round 2 could be interesting. What is
Yeah,
Life's
that'll-
ZVZ like? Is it really good?
Yeah, he was like a ZVZ expert for a very long time. Probably still is.
Well, that
Like
might be a
that
fun
was
match
his.
versus
That was
Violet.
how he was first well known. Zig versus Zig expert.
All right, so MLG starts next Friday. There won't be a state of the game because Apollo doesn't want to do it. Make sure you tweet him.
Jesus, JP.
Oh God! No, we'll try to
Wait,
do
what
something.
time would it be? What time would it be?
I don't know. Like we could make it whatever time we want, man. We don't have to. You land at 3.
Yeah, I like it how you know when I land.
I know when everyone lands. That's part of the producer's job, man.
So if I land at 3, and it's going to be in your hotel room.
Unless you want to drive back to the house.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be close to the event. Let me think about it. I don't know.
Okay. Apollo's
I
gonna
just like
think
the
about
cut.
it, guys. But that's, I have November on there, but we've already talked about a lot. November is just gonna be crazy, is all I wanted to say.
You also want us to saddle up.
Yeah, because you got to saddle up because we're gonna go to Texas first, right? And then we go to Lone Star, and then what else is there? We've got WCS finals. We've got IPL 5 at the end of the month. We've got ESWC,
Winter,
DreamHack winner. Is there something else?
WCG.
WCG China.
Does that even count anymore?
CG.
Are you kidding me?
God damn it, JP.
WCG?
JP, what the fuck? Are you serious?
It's WCG.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Are you just saying that because you're in it?
Yes.
Well, that's why it's such a big deal.
Yes,
I
it is
am
a big
Singapore. I forgot about that.
Home Story Cup, I think, is coming. They announced it like
What?
in December-ish.
Oh,
Yep.
so it's not
What I've been
November.
told. No, Home Story is December-ish.
Okay.
I don't know when exactly. NASL, I guess, would be like the finals, isn't it, in December? January?
Oh, that's right. They announced that.
December.
Fuck, man. This is too much shit. I wonder what numbers are going to be like for all these. Like, I wonder by the end of it if people are just going to be like, I don't want to fucking watch any more tournaments.
There's a lot of StarCraft, man.
Or do you think that the storylines will carry over from tournament to tournament since we pretty much have the same player base at most of
As
these?
long as the storylines are told, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to keep up with everything, and that's what sometimes makes it hard to keep up with stories. That's why it's cool to have dominant players and players who have big personalities that kind of tell the story themselves just by being there. Obviously, the casters and the way that the tournament is broadcasted can really help with that. But if you have big names at the tournament, they kind of speak for themselves sometimes.
Well, regardless, guys, I'm sorry to say this, but StarCraft obviously is dead. Let's do some shout-outs here. QXC, go ahead and start with shout-outs.
I'm QXC, Complexity Gaming. Follow me on Twitter, Cole_QXC. Check me out on Twitch, ColeQXC. Facebook, QXC. Big thanks to Gamma Labs for making the house in Houston possible, allowing us all to practice. Definitely check us out, all of Complexity, at MLG Dallas next weekend. And big shout out to our sponsors, Gamma Labs, Origin, Sound Blaster, Creative, PNY, Crash the System. And big thanks to JP for having me on the show.
Wolf, go ahead.
You guys follow me on Twitter. I'm like 20 followers short of 13,000. That'd be pretty cool if that happened right now. One of my friends right now actually is doing a contest for Maxim Magazine in Korea. I don't really know anything about Maxim Magazine, but if you go to MaximKorea.net and vote for the girl on the right, you can do that.
She has to be really hot to be able to get into Is she really hot, Wolf?
You guys can look for yourselves. Her name's Danning Fu, but you guys can vote for that. Otherwise, thanks JP for bringing me on the show, and I guess shoutouts to EMG.
There you go. There you go. Apollo, you don't get any shout-outs. That's good. No. What do you want, man? What do you want to say?
I don't want to say anything.
All right. Good state of the game, guys. I feel like we cracked it.
Apollo, you really don't want to say anything?
No, guys, just follow me on Twitter. I'm good.
All right. Follow him on Twitter. You don't want to promote your YouTube that you're putting stuff out on? With really interesting
thanks, JP,
videos?
for doing it for me. Yeah, you guys, you can check out my YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/Dignitas Apollo. Lots of educational StarCraft 2 content and fun content as well.
There you go. There you go. On Saturday, I'll be doing Sub Saturday, giving away a bunch of games to subscribers. You don't have to be there to win. Just have to sub. I'll pull your name for the sub list. Probably be streaming for about 6 hours, so check that out. I think we're going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern. Same time the show started. On Monday, we'll be doing a PlanetSide 2 thing with Matthew Higbee, the creative director. I've got 100 keys to give away for that, so check that out. Other than that, I don't have anything else. I guess we'll see you guys possibly next Thursday. You can watch Apollo's Twitter for that. As he's talking in chat. I can't even... Okay, we're out. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. It's been State of the Game. Hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye. Woo!
Later.
Bye.
Oh my god. Hold me tightly.
What's going on? I can't hear a word. I don't know what to cast anymore.
Oh, wow. All right, guys. 6 more investors popping out here. This is going to be quite fun indeed.
YOLO! YOLO!
Force fields going down as Apollo continues his slow and inevitable descent into madness here. Nertio trying to poke it against Nighthead. Will it work? A couple of Lings actually getting taken out by the Zealots. And oh my goodness, someone get the anesthesiast in here. Apollo is rolling around. Hang in there, my friend. Hang in there.
Nertio with his infestors are walking up the base, picking off an observer. Knight is in trouble. He's up to Blinkstalkers. I'm really bad at rapping.
You UK #1, man. You can do it. I actually used to be a singer, but I don't rap, man. I can't rap. I can sing, but I can't rap. So this is really not my kind of
down. Link's go running. Infestors behind. Shit's gone crazy in the house right now. Bucharest finished.
Oh, good God. Nertio currently 40 supply ahead, and we might have a huge engagement here. The sentries are out of energy, so no additional force fields are possible. Waiting for those infestors to come down with the bungles, but Nighthead has so many immortals with this army. Is he actually going to be able to power through here?
I don't know. Look at that. The balls are here. Infestor turns down. Let's just Talkers run away. The shit's gone crazy. Bucharest insane. Shout to me, Bucharest. Hello, Romania.
Oh.